All right, BFL number 2, driving through Caro once again, me and Jonathan. We're just talking about the Asian carp situation in Kentucky Lake. It's been bounced around for the last couple years. A lot of people are thinking that the fishing has definitely suffered because of the carp, and I'd have to agree. They're everywhere right now. You go out on the ledges and scan, there's just thousands of carp. You're bumping them with your crankbait. I've heard people say that they've caught them on crankbaits, or even I've heard of guys catching them on a pop bar, which I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past them if they're hungry. So basically they're eating the shad, which is the same thing that the bass are eating, and they're also eating the plankton, which are the same thing that the shad are eating. So we're just kind of bouncing ideals back and forth about it. We're talking about the grass situation. If there was grass in Kentucky Lake, the shad would have a place to hide. But right now they're just out in the open. So they're getting it from both ends. And we were talking about theories on why the grass disappeared, and there's what we're saying, some people think that the DNR sprayed it.
There's a group of folks that think the DNR sprayed it. There's a group of folks that believe that the Asian carp are eating either the seeds or the grass in general.
Yeah, because like we're pretty sure that the way the milfoil and stuff reproduces is it releases its seeds into the water column, and its seeds float. They gradually find a spot to rest, and then they start growing. If you got the carp sitting out there, which they're filter feeders, anything that comes through their gills is going into their stomachs. Those seeds are getting ate by the carp before they get a chance to find a spot to grow. So that's what we're talking about.
Let us know your feedback on it. What do you guys think's going on? Could be the carp, could be the lack of grass. Why is Kentucky Lake on the decline? Hopefully we're going to get a good weekend. We got a front moving through today into tonight. We're supposed to get a little bit of inclement weather.
Yeah, snow.
It's April 6th, and we're supposed to be getting some snow this evening. Not looking forward to the 28, 29 degree start in the morning, but I believe the fish are going to be biting tomorrow. So we shall see what's going on. And we were just looking at the TVA forecast. Looks like the lake is coming up. So that beats the last tournament in March when the lake was dropping about a half a foot a day. 7 days prior to the tournament, really shut the fish down, shut their feeding activities way down. So with the lake coming up, hopefully we can get some good weights tomorrow across the board.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the lake's sitting at 355.5. It's been coming up about 2/10 a day for the last, I don't know, about a week. So, you know, they're letting it fill up, and that's what the fish are typically waiting for. The water temperatures are there. We talked to some guys today. They said the water's like 56 degrees. So that's where it needs to be. But those fish in Kentucky Lake, any river impoundment, for some reason the fish know to wait until the water starts coming up to a certain level. I mean, it can be 70 degrees, and if the water is sitting at 354, they won't spawn. They want it to be up. They just know. It's just genetic, I guess. Mom and Pop taught them, you know, that's what we're waiting on. But it's coming up, so they should be moving up. And like you said, it's 60 degrees today. There's a front pushing through. It's supposed to be 28, 29, 30 degrees in the morning. But it shouldn't hurt them, at least for that first couple hours. We were just talking about this. Usually on when a front pushes through, the first couple hours of the morning are still really good. The fish are usually still feeding. They've been on a little tear, and they kind of extend it for a little bit. But then after that, it just gets tough. You know, you got barometric pressure coming into play, but you also got fish that have been feeding for a day or so, and they're full. They're good for a while. So it can get really tough. So the whole key is just to focus and fish hard in the morning, and hopefully, you know, you can put 5 in the boat, and then when it gets tough, you don't have anything to worry about. You're sitting good. Stopped at Fisherman's headquarters and stocked up on a few things and talked shop with the owner. Got some insight on the industry, and we're getting ready to go find out what room we're in, get that paid for. The meeting's going on right now. There's cars everywhere. It looks like a pretty good turnout. Yep. You will be on a video.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Beautiful Moore's Lodge. This is where we're staying at tonight. It's the morning of the tournament. It's 28 degrees. The wind's blowing 10 to 20 out of the north, and there is snow on the ground, and it's still snowing. It's supposed to be like this till about 10 o'clock. It's gonna be tough. Gotta get your mind right off the bat. You're gonna be dead in the water. All right, we're sitting out here, second BFL of the year. I'm here with my buddy Robert. We're getting ready to go, well, he's a boater, so he's getting ready to go find his co. I'm getting ready to go find my boater. And it's beautiful out here. If you're Santa Claus or reindeer.
Yes, it is.
It's snowing. We got, I don't know, probably, what, you think about half an inch of snow maybe? Something like that.
Yeah.
Wind's blowing like 20 miles an hour, and it's what, 28 degrees, 30 degrees, something like that. It's cold, but you know, that's what you got to deal with sometimes.
Yep.
Got to get your mind right, stay focused, and go out and have fun. Look at that wind, it's that snow's horizontal. So, good luck, Robert.
Good luck to you too.
All right, man. Jonathan's getting ready to drop me off at the boat ramp, and then he's got to meet his boater across the bay here at Buckhorn Boat Ramp. It's gonna be a little bit of a mess down here. Like I said earlier, I think it's 28 degrees out, so everything's probably getting slick. Luckily, we had a 60-degree day yesterday. It's gonna go a long way. Morning of the tournament, BFL number 2. Probably not the greatest day to have a tournament, but gonna make the best of it. It's cold. Look at that flag. We got a little fog delay. Everybody's cold and miserable already, and we haven't even started yet. So Well, we got a fog/snow delay. Everybody's in the marina huddled up trying to keep warm. They keep going out and checking about every 15 minutes, but it looks like it's going to be a little while.
Any good?
My buddy RBT.
Oop, what's up, Facebook?
Here with my buddy Andy Harper. What's going on out there today?
Really, really crappy weather.
You gonna fish today?
I hope not.
How far are you running?
Ken Lake.
So you got a little run. It's gonna be cold.
A little bit.
Once you get there and get settled in, you'll be all right.
Boat number 9, I hope I can get there quick enough. Safe enough.
Well, good luck to you.
All right, buddy.
All right. Fishing with Daniel Langton today. He's the boater, so he's gonna get us there and back safe, hopefully. Get that right.
That's most important.
That's right.
Go home and see the kids.
Yep, exactly. Boat number 89.
Well, it sounds rough out there.
Yeah, it does. All right, it's about 9 o'clock and they're letting us go out. It's still super cold, but the snow's kind of let up. We got a little fog out there in the lake, so everybody running south is gonna have to be really super careful. Fished the Snow Bowl this weekend at Kentucky Lake, BFL number 2 in the LBL division. 28 degrees in the morning, snow. Starting time was originally 6:30. They pushed it back to 8, but we had another hour and 15-minute fog delay, so it ended up being 9:15 before they started letting everybody go. We were due in at 4:45. My boater, Dan Langton, had decided to run up to Little Bear, which is probably 2 miles from Moore's Resort, where the tournament was taken out of. So we ran up there and we fished about 6 spots, just mainly secondary points and deep banks. We hopped around and he was throwing a couple different crankbaits, just covering water, and I was dragging like a swing head jig behind him. Caught a few small fish in there. After that, we left, ran across the lake to the LBL side, and spent most of the rest of our day just fishing some main lake points and deep lead-in banks in those bays over there. And we also fished a lot of secondary points, but we wouldn't spend more than 15 minutes in an area and we'd move. So he worked really hard to find fish. Unfortunately, neither one of us caught a keeper. We caught lots of small fish. I think the biggest fish that came in the boat was probably 14 3/4. I think that's the only one that we even bumped. But most of the fish we caught were 12 or 13 inches. We finally, about the last hour and a half, we finally slowed down and started throwing a jig and a tube and caught quite a few fish. They were just small. Wind was 10 to 20 blowing out of the north. There were some pretty heavy rollers out there. The lake was really, really rough. Had to really pay attention, and we didn't run around too much, which was kind of nice, and we didn't make a long run, which is even nicer. And only 31 coves weighed in a fish in this tournament. Only 58 boaters weighed in a fish in this most recent tournament. They say misery loves company, and knowing that other people were dealing with the same conditions I was made it much more tolerable, and it was kind of like a little brotherhood out there. Everybody was a little bit irked, but we all are ate up with fishing. We all love to be there, and I think most people would do it again tomorrow, as crazy as that sounds. It's in the blood. It's a passion. It's what we strive for. And yeah, sometimes it rains, sometimes the sun shines, but you're going fishing either way, and everybody has the same conditions. It's a level playing field. You just have to adjust. And a lot of it's mental. You have to make those mental adjustments. Some people are beat before they even pull out of the marina, but you have to do it, and it's a challenge, and every tournament is different. So I just wanted to give everybody a shout out that fished that tournament. It was awesome. It was cool to go through it together, and we'll see you next time.